and welcome to Darktide. In this video, I hope I can make your life a little easier while you have to deal with specific special enemies. And I'm talking about the Pox Hound, the Trapper, the Mutant, the Sniper, and the Poxburster. As far for the rest of the special enemies, I don't think you require a lot of tips as they're much easier to deal with them and much more forgiving. You can lose your toughness, get to cover, deal with them with range. However, the first enemies I mentioned are very dangerous. They can either grab you, they can deal a lot of damage, or cause a lot of corruption. Let's start with a Poxburster. Some of you may wonder why you need tips to deal with them. All you have to do is kill them from range. And you could be correct. However, there could be situations when a Poxburster spawns in front of you on a door or while you fight a boss and everyone is occupied and you haven't had time to show the Poxburster, or in a very rare occasion when a veteran is not in the team and you cannot spot where the Poxburster is coming. In case you find someone in close range, you can avoid the damage. It's actually pretty simple, you just push them away. Well, not that simple. There is a timing to it. When the Poxburster rushes, don't do anything until he does this movement, he jumps. When he does that, you have to push him, dodge backwards 2 times, and then kill him. 2 things you need to be aware when you do this tactic. If you dodge backwards once, or if you're very slow in general by dodging, there's a very high chance you will still get hit by the blast. Another thing you should be worried, if you run with randoms and you don't know how to trust, you cannot communicate, there's a very high chance they simply just explode the Poxburster in your face. So be careful when you use the tactic, only do it as a last measure, only if you don't have the time to shoot them in range, otherwise yes, shoot them on range. Let's have a look at the Mutant, which is probably the easiest of the specials because there's a very high chance sometimes the Mutant will grab you and throw you away, so it's basically a free grab. The timing is actually quite easy, the visual timing you need to dodge the Mutant left or right. It's here. When the Mutant charges and raises his left hand, that indicates he's going to grab you. Then is the time to dodge. However, it is very easy to fail this dodge if you follow some of these circumstances. The corners are the worst possible location you try to avoid the Mutant. You can simply dodge him, and because he can bounce around, he can still grab you, which happened to me multiple times. If teammates are located behind you and the Mutant won't raise your hand if it's in very close range, dodge regardless. There is a very high chance the Mutant will still grab you even if it's not going for you. That being said, if you happen to be the ally or allies behind the first target, be ready to dodge. There have been multiple occasions where my teammates could grab instead of me because the Mutant simply ignored 1 or 2 of us and then went for the third ally and they wasn't ready and said why the Mutant ignored you or the other one. I don't know what the AI doing. It can target the 4th player, so everyone needs to be ready to dodge. Finally, above the malice difficulty, dodging is mandatory in my opinion, unless you have a party with very high powered ranged weapons and at least 1 veteran. It can become very difficult to kill him. He has a lot of HP, he's running, he can charge you from very close distance and you won't get the opportunity to kill him in range, so it's much safer to simply dodge him and kill him in melee. Let's move to the bane of most of players, the Pox Hound. Because dodging is either bugged or next to impossible during this patch. I have tried to dodge while it jumps, and there's multiple occasions where I did dodge and get grabbed instead. You can still try to dodge the Pox Hound with your own risk, however the dodge timing should be perfect. Before it jumps you need to dodge, but sometimes it won't work. I don't know, I haven't found a solution for that. However, the other tactic I'm using, it's much more consistent and I highly recommend it. We are going with a very reliable push. Because of its high stagger, you can stagger the Pox Hounds very easily. Chain melee attacks, light attacks are much more better because it can get staggered quite easy and just kill it on the spot. The timing of the push while it jumps is very tricky and sometimes it will fail. That being said, there are few occasions I would recommend before it jumps, for example, you can simply push it and chain light attacks to kill it. And the best possible location for that, I found the corners, because it won't have the time to simply jump through the corner. It will give you half or 1 second to simply push it as it appears through the corner and you can just kill it very easy. Pushing, Chastise of the Wicked from the Zealot, and probably the Ogre's Charge can also free your teammates immediately from the Hound, so do that especially in hard difficulties to avoid any unnecessary damage to your teammates. The Trapper will be either very deadly or very annoying. If it captures you, the net does 0 damage, however, I think you take extra damage from other enemies nearby, and that's why it can be deadly. It can capture you with horde around your special enemies, and you're just a sitting duck taking extra damage, and you will go down very fast. It's very easy to recognize when a trapper is nearby. You will simply hear her yelling, "I will capture you, my little precious," and things like that, as you can hear in the background. Dodging her net is a little tricky because you have to wait for the visual and not the audio cue. When you hear the sound that she charges her net, it's not the time to dodge. It's the time to dodge when you see the net launch. As you can see in the background, this is a bad dodge because I started to dodge when I heard the net charging, and this is a good dodge when I saw the net launching. Depending on her range, it can be either easier or harder to dodge her net. For example, if she's located far away, it's much more forgiving for the dodge window. If she's very close by, it's less forgiving, so you have to time it perfectly. Compared to the other specials, she's not very fast, and you will have plenty of time to kill her with range, so if you have a fast swapping range weapon, I would recommend to not risk the dodge and simply kill her as she approaches. And finally, let's talk about the sniper. Although you may not think it's very dangerous, it's the hardest hitting enemy in the entire game, and especially in higher difficulties, and sniper can take half or 3/4 of your health with one hit. Very dangerous, and I do recommend to know how to deal with them. Compared to the other specials, there's no audio cue when the sniper approaches, only this big laser and the character yelling "Sniper, Sniper," because most of the times my character is yelling "Sniper" where I haven't located the sniper. But there is a sound cue when the sniper is about to shoot, along with a visual cue. As you can see in the background, you will see this small flash of light and hear this sound. Whenever you hear the sound cue, this is your time to dodge left or right, because yes, you can dodge the sniper shots. It's very easy once you get to figure out, however, it's very dangerous to do it more than 2 or 3 times in a row. Dodging will give you the opportunity to mark the sniper for the rest of your teammates, or if you're very fast with shooting your ranged weapon, it will give you a couple of seconds to use your ranged weapon to deal with the sniper yourself. In a worst case scenario, don't expose yourself just to mark the sniper in an open area, just go outside, dodge one shot, mark the sniper and go back to cover. This way you will be much safer in case another enemy comes nearby, another special. You have already marked the sniper, a veteran or another teammate or yourself can deal with him with a ranged weapon, so be extra careful. There are 3 more special enemies in the game: the Scab Flamer, the Tox Flamer and the Bomber. Each and every one unleashes flames that, if even touches you by even a slight hair, they will just destroy all your toughness. Be ready for the audio cues, the tick tick tick. It's either a Scab Flamer or a Tox Flamer. You can easily identify them. The Tox Flamer is a little more maniac and says, "I will burn everything for the glory of Nergal," and heretical stuff like that. And just avoid the flame and kill him by range, or use the Chastise of the Wicked or the Ogre Charge to catch up to him. One final tip for the general when you deal with specials and for general in the game: if you hear something coming and you just went ahead exploring or left behind exploring, ignore everything, go closer to at least one ally, because there is a strength in numbers. There is no shame in getting grabbed or incapacitated by a special. As long as you stick together, nothing can stop you. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope this video will make your life a little easier when you deal with the specials, so feel free to like and subscribe to stay tuned for more upcoming videos for Darktide and other video games. As always, I wish you all a wonderful day, and don't forget,